Welcome back to the house, 1055. We're so glad you guys are coming around the house with us to hang out, to chill, to watch some horror apocalyptic action movies, as well as, our favorite Once Upon a Time sci-fi thriller. We love it. Thank you guys for coming around. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe, like, comment, share with your friends, share with your homies, because we always like more homies around the house to discuss what we're talking about. And what we're talking about today, we have a double feature for the crowd.
Come on, son.
Come on. We are talking The Last of Us Season 2, as well as Andor Season 2. We got some highly anticipated Season 2s to discuss, very critically acclaimed, very beloved by the fan bases. We're going to jump right into it. I am your podcast host, Noah Marano, back again with my co-host, Mo Lotion, Mo Problems.
Listen, sometimes I lay awake at night and I think, what would it be like to be a part of a rebellion against an intergalactic empire while also living in an apocalypse?
That sounds like hell. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah, not fun.
One is enough. Two, might just want to hang up the shoes. Hang up the cleats.
Yeah.
Back it in.
Anyways.
If you're, living under a rock, you might not notice the person to the left of my screen or to the right of my screen, depending on how you're watching this video. He's been badgering us over and over again. We just can't ever get him to stop twisting our arm to come back on the podcast. But, of course, we have Alex, a.k.a. the computer, a.k.a. Mike Ross, a.k.a. Little Bill, a.k.a. Joffrey Baratheon, first of his name, a.k.a. Mr. Bosby, a.k.a. the Scheme Lord himself, a.k.a. Little Gamba, a.k.a. Kit, yes, boy, a.k.a. the third Hardy Boy, Mr. Maldonado.
Yo, I actually have a little story time to tell. When I was a little kid, a young lad, me and Joe, we used to have like these eating contests. I always used to beat him every single time. Just ate more than him. I was a beast. I always got him mad because he could never beat me. He used to call me a mini bloater. Never knew what it meant. Never knew what it meant until watched Last of Us. Now I know why he called me that. Joe, that's messed up.
Oh, man. Listen, we got a lot of episode to get through. So, Alex, you're going to be joining us for Last of Us. So we're going to talk about that first. And then we are going to go through Andor, probably not with Alex, but we'll see how that goes. We'll see if he wants to stick around and spoil things for himself. So let's get right into it. We are now 2 episodes behind. We're going to be covering the second episode primarily, but first episode we can touch on a little bit. That did premiere last week. We're a little late to the pie because we had some conflict issues with scheduling. Our people missed their people. It just didn't work out. Two ships passing by in the night. And so, listen, we're back to cover this week's episode 2, along with some stuff about episode 1. So let's talk about it. Me coming into this show, I don't know about Last of Us. I did not watch season 1 because I just didn't. It's just not my forte.
Yeah.
Not a big apocalyptic zombie type guy. Love Pedro Pascal. So that was probably the one thing that was going to get me into this show.
Yeah.
And we'll get into more of that in a little bit. But I did not watch season 1, but I caught up. I know it's pretty beat for beat the game for the most part.
Season 1, beat for beat.
Yeah, I've heard there's a few things they added, but it's very little. But this show came out a while ago, and this was one of the hottest. This was kind of the hottest thing on HBO since Game of Thrones.
Yes.
And so everybody was talking about it. So we definitely felt the need to cover it this time around because last time it was coming out, I don't believe we had a podcast.
No, this didn't exist.
So we are going to get right into it. To start off the season, first off, I did a recap to kind of catch up because I just didn't have time. I will go back and watch season 1, I think, eventually. But we'll talk about that.
Okay.
But then I queue it up. I started episode 1 and bang, 5 years.
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa. That's a large, for someone just jumping into this, that's okay, I'm really getting nothing from season 1. Kind of nice, though. I can kind of just hop into the season.
For sure.
With not as much context as I feel like I probably need on a lot of shows trying to do this endeavor on. But yeah, it's still not my favorite thing in the world.
Okay.
Just because objectively I see how it's fantastic. I really do.
Okay.
Story-wise, really good. Actors-wise, Pedro's cooking all the time. He's never not cooking on TV. But, again, this just isn't my forte, so I'm not, as in love with the genre as, other things we cover on this channel. But I am appreciating this show for what it is so far. I will say, though, huge issue, huge hang-up I'm really trying to push past. I cannot stand Ellie.
Okay.
Let's
talk about
it. I can't stand her.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
From the get-go in episode 1.
Yeah.
She's just, pissing me off.
Because she's pouty. like a pouty little
It's
like.
that. It's also like she has the Captain Marvel arrogance.
And her
And I don't know if
face.
that's like a new. Okay, I don't know. If that, I don't know if that's like a new like maybe thing that we're gonna refer to in the future. But like the way she carries herself with this arrogance, it just bugs me. And it does. And she is like getting people around her in trouble because of her own selfishness. And I
Yes.
just don't like it. Like it pisses me off. There's nothing likable about her character that I'm finding so far.
Yeah.
And maybe I am missing a huge component from season 1 that would maybe add a little bit of that in.
Yeah.
But as of right now, man, she is, and we're gonna talk about how that greatly affects my outlook on the season going forward.
So
but
let's kind of hang right there for a second. So so in season 1, when we get Ellie, she mirrors Joel,
yeah,
right? Like she is like a version, like the same as Joel. And so when we get Ellie in the first season, she's like thinks she can take care of herself, but like really can't. And
Yeah.
that's why Joel gets roped in to this, is because he is tasked with getting her to the Fireflies.
yeah,
Like, you know, and obviously she can't do it alone, so he is tasked with taking her there.
yeah,
And so the whole first season, she really isn't able to defend herself that much. Once we get to the latter, you know, we have a really big moment where she you know, she has to defend herself. But then within this 5-year gap, she has now been training with the people at Jackson.
yeah,
And it's all about the very, very beginning of this season is to show us, very beginning of episode 1 is to show us, okay, this Ellie is now very, very capable.
they did. They did that very well. I think
This
so.
is not the same little girl who cannot defend. Like she can give you the hands.
Yeah,
Okay, and she's highly trained. She can, you know, she can operate a weapon, because, and we'll get into this. The show is shifting from Joel being the protagonist to
yeah,
Ellie.
to Ellie being
The same as the video games.
Yeah.
You play as Joel the whole time in Last of Us 1. In Last of Us 2, you spend probably 65 to 70% of the game playing as Ellie.
Yeah,
And the other half playing as Abby. So, it's just showing you. It's kind of like yeah, I get it. The teenage angst and confidence can kind of get annoying. She's clearly one of the best in the town.
yeah.
She's one of the most capable.
She's definitely skilled.
She's skilled.
For sure skilled.
And she just keeps putting herself in situations that get her more experience.
Yeah.
Obviously, she's had a lot of experience with the journey she had with Joel with these infected. So she just like, she's revered in the town of like, oh my gosh, like you've been through so much, you've seen so much, and you're still alive. Like you're so cool. So I get it though. The angst can be kind of annoying.
The angst is pretty annoying. But Alex, what did you think of? You can talk about like what were your reactions to these first 2 episodes going into it?
Yeah, I think the time skip from 5 years definitely caught me a little off guard as well, because I'm kind of this show first came out when I think I was a freshman, right? So I'm a junior now in high school. So I think it was 2022, and I didn't watch a recap or anything. I kind of just dove in episode 1.
Yeah.
So, and I'm the type of guy that doesn't remember anything, right?
Yes.
I just
Sick.
I don't remember anything. I just remember playing the game, and I watched the first season. I wasn't even able to finish the second game. I played a little bit of it with Joe, but never even got to finish it. So most of the things that we're gonna see in season 2, I'm still pretty naked to, you know, like I'm not gonna see it, or I'm not gonna know. But no, seeing this version of Ellie, I mean, it makes me like a little mad. I don't know if it's still, I'm just mad at the Bella Ramsey casting. I don't know. I think a lot of people try to get behind Ellie because they played the game and they love Ellie in the game so much, but it's really hard to get behind the Ellie in the TV show because she's arrogant and she gets other people, you know, puts other people in danger and stuff.
Yeah.
So you're in that camp of you're not a biggest fan of the casting.
I'm not, but I'm trying to be open minded about it because I think Bella Ramsey is actually a really good actor. I just don't think she looks like Ellie.
So I and Alex, we watched all of season 1 together. We called each other FaceTime every single Sunday at 9:00, and we watched the whole first season together. I think we're planning on trying to do that with season 2 when our schedule aligns. But in Alex, you can attest to this. I was very angry with Bella Ramsey being cast as Ellie.
Really?
Yeah,
I was
you were
furious.
pissed.
I
Like
hated it.
before the season premiered
Before
in
season
one?
Before
Okay.
season 1. Because she looks nothing like Ellie. And
Yeah.
that, to me, that really bothered me.
Yeah.
I was to my core. And I did not like Ellie all of season 1.
Yeah.
She really annoyed me. Love Pedro.
Of course.
Big Pedro guy.
Big Pedro people.
And then, I'm not going to lie, when season 2 started and I watched episode 1, I ended that episode and I was like, I can see past this casting because I think her performance took a major leap from season 1 to season 2.
Really?
And I was thoroughly impressed.
Okay.
With her acting. Dude, it was just really good.
Mm.
And I was like, I'm not gonna lie, I can get past the casting because she's actually doing a very good job of capturing Ellie.
Okay.
And how she acted. And so I'm actually like on the train of like I'm with Bella. I'm
Yeah.
rocking with her.
Yeah.
And I think she's gonna be able to deliver the performance that we need for our main character.
Yeah. I don't want to hang too much on episode 1 because it really is a lot of setup.
It is.
It's a lot of setup.
We meet some new characters. We meet Dina. We
Dina.
meet Jesse. Those
Jesse.
are really big characters.
Dina's actress is going to be Hawkgirl in Superman
Yes.
coming up this summer. So.
Yes, I love Dina. Obviously, we see Tommy again. We saw Tommy a little bit at the end of season 1, Joel's brother. And so we just kind of like season 1. It kind of acts as like, hey, we're just kind of ushering back in, we get back in the flow of things.
Yeah.
I love how we just like picked up like immersiveness, if that's a word.
Yeah.
Like we got as soon as season 2 started, like I felt right back.
It threw you right back into the world. And that's something that Andor did too. And I think it's something that's very important for how these shows kind of do feel like they're not missing a beat.
For sure.
They're just throwing you right back in.
Even though it's a 5-year jump,
Yeah.
I'm right back in this world,
They're
and I hadn't been in it.
expecting you as an audience member to do a lot of the heavy lifting in terms of just knowing where the hell you're at, knowing who these characters are. But, like, it's not overwhelming. Because, like, even me, like, a first-time watcher of this show, I didn't feel it. I figured out everything very quickly.
Yeah.
Yep, this is his brother. Got it. This is some therapist chick he's seeing. Got it. Like, this is Dina. Got it.
Yeah.
It was not overwhelming, and it felt, like you said, it felt immersive from the get-go.
Yeah. And
I
that's
think
something
that really
this show
helps.
does really, really well.
Yes,
and I
100%.
love.
100%.
But yeah.
That honestly, and I did kind of foreshadow right there. My favorite scene from episode 1 was the therapist scene
Okay.
when Joel was going into therapy. I thought that was very interesting. Just not knowing and not seeing a lot of Joel, and then kind of just jumping into the fact that I did the recap, so like I know what happened at the end of the season last season. I know how he hid the truth from Ellie and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I figured that was going to cause like strife, and it's interesting to see how through 5 years. And, like, that's a short amount of time. But when you really think about, like,
Yeah, it's 5 years.
everything that's happened in the last 5 years of your life, like, it can be a lot. Like, if you really just close the gap into just that window. And so it was dropping me into the perspective of seeing, like, man, like, they kind of went off the season 1 Rocky. And through 5 years, it's not really healed. It's honestly gotten worse. And the divides, like he said, like I let her move into the garage. I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
She's getting older, so she's an angsty teen. So like she's going through, all those hormonal changes and how that introduces with a father-daughter relationship. But no, the therapist scene I just thought was really excellent. I really liked. I don't know who this Eugene guy is.
It's her husband, yeah.
So I got that there was a husband. Why did he have to put her down?
Do you want to take a guess?
I kind of just figured that like Eugene was attacking him in some manner. Or
He was turned.
was you? Oh, he got turned. Oh, okay. So that's why she's still like okay with giving him therapy, even though she says it. She's like, let's get this out in the open. Like I hate you for what you did. That ruined my life.
Yeah.
But like she also understands that he didn't really have a choice,
Yeah.
which I thought was interesting. I was coming at it from the perspective that he didn't turn.
Gotcha.
I was coming from a perspective that they were just at odds and it was me or you. Like, and he just had to make a decision. Kind of like what happened with him and why him and Allie have a butting of heads.
Mhm.
Is that, listen, he was put in a situation where, like, respectfully, it was Ellie or it was everybody else. And he made that decision because, he has more invested in Ellie than he does everybody else. Whether that was selfish or not, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So I thought the therapy scene was really cool because, like, I just thought there was a lot of great dialogue going into it. Just back and forth between her really trying to pull the truth out of Joel as to why he was actually feeling the way he was, and her just kind of saying, like, listen, It's a waste of time if you're not gonna like sit here and actually tell me what's going on.
So, and I just want to double check. The show hasn't showed what happened
To what?
to Eugene.
No.
It hasn't been answered.
No.
So,
So
it's
that hasn't been seen in season 1?
No.
No.
Oh.
No.
I
Sorry.
thought that was something that was evidently shown
No,
in season 1.
It's not season 1. The only thing that's insinuated between the therapist conversation is that he had no choice. And
Yes.
so, sorry.
So you're insinuating that he was turned.
I answered it as if I'm telling you objectively
Gotcha.
what happened. I am giving you my assumption.
From everything I've seen from recapping of season 1, it seems like Joel really is the type of guy where like
to just kill people? Yes.
It's like that, but it's like I said, like if it comes down to me or you, I'm choosing me.
If one person has to walk out of this room,
Yeah,
it's not gonna be you.
It's not gonna be you. So does he have training of some sort?
Joel is he's
Okay.
like ex-military.
Okay. I figured he had to have something because he's just like
Oh, he's bad A.
he's whipping everybody,
Oh,
and it's not even close.
He's a bad A.
Not even close. But
And he was with the Fireflies
Yeah.
and whatnot.
Yeah, yeah.
They're a militia and all this and whatnot.
and the Fireflies, they do truly piss me off. They really do.
No, they don't exist anymore.
Yeah. For sure. It's like the remnants of it.
Yeah,
I will say though, because I was finding something similar in both Andor and this as I was watching through both of them. Is like
It's like a slaughter fest.
Her name's Allie, right?
Abby.
Abby.
Mhm.
Abby.
Mhm.
Abby. Ellie. Allie. I get it. Okay,
Sure.
so Abby. I get why you're upset. I do. But piss off.
Yes, Abby, piss off.
Like shit.
Remember the villain draft?
Because Joel killed her. You pick Abby?
No, he picked Abby. Remember?
Oh,
And
you
you're-
picked
the
Abby?
the video game
Yeah.
villain.
Bro, she getting punked, bro. She getting punked.
No, video game. Yo, she'd handle you.
I will
She would
say,
handle
video
you.
game Abby is
She-
6'3", 180.
I'm about to say, isn't she
Yeah,
like jacked?
She's 6'3",
So
180. Built like
I
a,
saw that was a little bit of a casting.
She's a linebacker.
she's built like an inside linebacker
Yeah, okay,
in the
cool.
video game.
Yeah. She's Bobby Wagner.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Just like that whole first scene where they're like burying them,
Yeah,
and she's like just so narrow-minded on what Joel did,
yeah.
and doesn't want to. And I get it. It's her dad, right? Because
It's
he
her
killed her
dad.
dad. So I get it. I get why she's got the blinders on. But there's just like no perspective on what's going on in the world. It really just does come down to.
But to be
you
fair,
killed my dad.
the only people who had perspective of the situation
I-
were also murdered.
Yes. And I get it too, like honestly, because that's honestly like I think a heavy theme when it comes to like zombie apocalypse things is nobody has perspective.
Yeah,
It's all about me. It has to
has
be.
to be.
It has to be in a zombie apocalypse. So like
It's all about survival.
I get it, but bro, it just pissed me off.
So
bro.
I think what'll help is always keep context in how you're viewing it, right? Because I think that's an easy way to get annoyed by
Yes.
characters. Because like when you look at the situation from all sides, everybody's decision makes sense.
1,000%.
Right? And so I want to touch on this just and it doesn't have to be too long, so you can kind of stop me. But I want to make sure that the pod, that we establish this, and for the rest of our conversation, especially as we get into episode 2, that we establish this like pivotal moment at the end of season 1. Okay, Joel makes it to the Fireflies, right, with Ellie. Joel wakes up in a hospital bed, and he meets with Marlene. Marlene is explaining to him, Ellie's getting prepped for surgery right now.
Yeah, they're gonna kill her.
And yes, in order to extract the cure from her, we have to kill her. And Joel, you got to automatically understand that in the very, very opening sequence of season 1, when chaos broke out, he lost his daughter.
Yes.
Where she was shot.
Yeah.
And so he had, from all the time he lost his daughter all the way to he met Ellie and they went on that journey, he had distanced himself from everybody.
Yeah.
And he was just a cold hard killer. And so throughout that journey that Joel has with Ellie, they establish this relationship, right? She becomes like a daughter to him. And I think as soon as he's told that, 1, he doesn't get a choice. 2, she doesn't get a choice.
Yeah.
This is going to happen, and she's going to be taken away from him forever, and he didn't even get to say goodbye.
Yeah.
Immediately killer instincts.
Yeah.
And so obviously he proceeds to go and massacre the hospital. Okay. In the video game, one of the coolest things in ever. You get to just go in an absolute rampage and you just slaughter and literally a mini army in that hospital. And it all boils up to the operation room scene. Joel walks in, and in the show it's crazy. It happens so fast. He walks in, the doctor's like, "Whoa, dude, you should probably
Mm.
Didn't even talk to him.
Mm.
Didn't even let him get his words out. Immediately capped him right between his eyes. Didn't even let him talk. I thought he killed the 2 nurses. I guess he didn't. But he takes Ellie and leaves.
Mm.
And then of course, after that, Ellie's like, Ellie wakes up and she's like, "What happened?" He's like, "Hey, the surgery didn't work. They just kind of gave up."
Didn't he tell her too, like there were more like you or something like that?
He says no. He says that the surgery didn't work and that the fireflies have given up on a cure.
Gotcha.
That's it. So we're just going into like survival, and so we're going to see Tommy. She picks up that he's lying.
Mhm.
She confronts him about it,
Yeah.
and he says, "No, I'm not lying." And she knows he's lying, but he won't tell her what happened. So she doesn't know what happened.
Yeah.
And so now, obviously, we pick up in season 2. So I just want to make sure we
Yeah.
understand the full context of like that, because this is essential to Abby, right? Because Abby obviously sees that and is indicted a vendetta
Mm-hmm.
against Joel, and throughout the course of those 5 years, she goes to the place in Seattle where she receives all the training. That's why she's like kind of like a bad A or whatever.
Gotcha.
In the video game, she's a lot more physically intimidating.
Yeah.
On this game, she's a little bit more like fragile, but the psychotic nature is kind of shared between the 2 characters. So I just want to kind of establish that. I know you kind of like knew that through your recap, but for anybody listening, we're gonna operate with kind of understanding how season 1 ended,
Yeah.
because everybody's motives are tied to Joel's decision in that hospital.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah. So, and I feel like I do a pretty good job at doing like fitting myself into the worldview of what the character's thinking
for sure.
when I'm watching it. So I got it. I got it. Like I was like, I get why you're mad. I get why like your single focus would be to kill Joel.
Yeah. So Joel's carrying the guilt. Ellie knows he's lying.
Yeah.
She won't tell him the truth, so she resents him. And everything that she does, he's trying to still be this overprotect. All he knows how to be is a
his
protector.
dad, yeah.
So like she, hey, when you're fighting Ellie, pull your punches. Like she hates that crap.
Yeah.
And they keep doing it and whatnot. And so, it's gonna be wild.
So, all right, enough about episode 1. I don't. There's not. We need to get to episode 2.
Yeah.
Alex, what were your thoughts? Because obviously this episode goes out in quite the glory. This was a great episode. I will say that. I really liked this episode. What was your immediate reaction following the end of this episode when the big thing happens?
Yeah, so kind of just cried. It's kind of just one way to put it. Knew it was gonna happen. I was actually a firm believer that Joel wouldn't that it wouldn't happen to Joel this early in the season, because I originally saw a report before season 2 came out saying that they would expand the second game across 3 seasons. So I was like, okay, maybe we get like one more season of Joel. Maybe it's the finale where it happens, but no, just straight into it. Yeah, it was hard.
It happens. The scene happens in the first hour of the second game.
Yeah.
And there was an outrage when the game came out.
I bet. So leading up to this episode, I had not looked up anything, but I'd seen glances of things online about how controversial the second game was.
Mm-hmm.
And I had seen glances of what seemed to be like Pedro's character gets offed. But I didn't want to keep digging because I was like, I don't want to just like boldly read it.
Mm-hmm.
Just see it straight up. It's interesting coming into it from my viewing because this is the first time like I've probably watched something and we've really talked about it where like I really don't know any of the context coming in.
Yeah.
So this was a complete like for me versus like a lot of times I see stuff like this coming or like I just know it's going to happen. And you obviously playing the game, you know it's going to happen at some point. Even watching the first season, you know it's going to happen at some point. So
I, like when Pedro got casted, I was happy.
And then you were
but it's like
yeah,
I just know it's gonna happen.
You know the fate of the character.
Yeah, I know it has to happen. I mean, there's no way around it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, man. This was a huge bummer for me.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Huge bummer.
I'm sure.
I didn't think like you said, Alex. I didn't think Pedro was gonna be killed like first 2 episodes of this season, bro.
Crazy,
And
bold.
Honestly, kind of worked out for him because he clearly has a lot of projects going on.
That's what I was saying. The timing of it, low key, like is
kinda
actually
works.
great for him.
Kind of works because
Avengers
Now, this might not happen in the game. Do you think they're going to go back and show us flashbacks throughout the 5 years?
Yes.
That does happen in the game. Okay, so we are going to get more Joel throughout the
Yes.
season.
Yes.
All right, so I was kind of thinking that might be the
There
route they're
are-
going down.
Yeah, there's pivotal moments in the story that require flashbacks.
Okay, cool. So I kind of figured once he got off so quick, that's what we were going to kind of see from here on out from him. Because obviously, like, you don't have this entire season with just 2 episodes of this guy.
Mm-hmm.
But dude, yeah, this that blew, and like everything leading up to it, I kind of just was like feeling a sense of like I don't like this
Yeah.
the entire time. And
When he got shot in the leg, did you think like, oh, he's gonna?
I thought she shot him in the stomach. I was like,
Oh.
oh fuck. I was like, oh no, this is not gonna be good. And then when she's like just beating him, I'm just like, it didn't really kick into me that he was gonna just straight up die until they come back to her punching him, and he's just like, it looks rough.
What
And
kind
I'm
of club was she using?
I think I saw it. I couldn't. I was watching on my phone, so I couldn't quite see it. It was either a 5 or a 9. I couldn't see which
Okay.
club it was specifically. Either way, sucks. Don't get hit by one of those things. If it's a longer club, that's gonna suck because there's more like whip to it. Tough. Yeah, that was brutal, man. That death scene was brutal, and the way she ends up killing him. I thought when Ellie gets pinned, first off,
It's worse in the game.
is it really? We'll get to that in a second.
Okay.
First off, Ellie gets in and sees him. My first thought is immediately, just fucking shoot her. Like, don't think of anything. Like, you clearly see it's Joel. Just shoot.
Yeah.
She doesn't, which I get. You're
More
trying to,
shocked.
yeah, you're shocked. You're trying to take another step in to get a better grasp of what's happening. But like that immediately puts her at a deficit.
Yeah.
And they pin her down. And when they pin her down, I thought Abby was just gonna come up and walk up and just like you weren't even gonna see her like above the shoe line. You were just gonna see her shoot him, and that was gonna be like it. And when she picked up the club, I was just like, and first off, she beat him so hard with the club, she broke the club.
Yeah.
Oh.
Crazy. It's not terribly hard to break a club like that, but still, that sucks.
Yeah.
And then, bro, like the way she like comes up, and I was like, she gonna like just kind of slowly like get between his ribs, and then I didn't like where she did that.
Where she stabbed him.
And that just like that is a graphic image I'm gonna have in my head for a long time, of like Pedro dying in this show. It's I was not okay with it, and I legitimately like remember thinking, because like I said at the beginning of this episode, I can't stand Ellie right now.
Yeah.
And the fact that Pedro is like gone, and now it's like Ellie's to carry, I'm just like, I want to watch this show, but just because it's good, but like, dang, that sucks.
Yeah.
Abby, just know we're gonna get that shit back in blood. You understand, Abby? We gonna get that shit back in blood. You understand? Don't worry, we gonna get our vengeance. All right, Abby? You got it coming, dog.
I can't really tell where the story's heading. Whether it's heading towards like there's 2 options, right? Either it's going towards Ellie's gonna hunt this bitch down, and like it's just gonna take her out. And then there's this other path where like she hunts her down, but we have like this weird like coming together of their paths and them actually becoming allies. Can't ever really truly become friends, I don't think, just because of literally her watching him kill Joel.
Yeah.
But but like getting to a point of understanding of like why you thought you needed to do that. But even as I'm saying it, like I don't think she can really come to that conclusion. So I feel like there's really only one way we can head, which is her going and taking out Abby. Like she's just gonna have to hunt Abby down and kill her.
Okay. Yes. Well, I'm not saying yes.
Yeah,
to
I don't
that.
want you to give away too much.
No,
of
yeah,
what's
yeah.
going on.
I'm not saying yes to that. I'm thinking so. When we dropped an episode at the beginning of the year. It's called excitement ranking. We ranked all the products that were coming out this year and our excitement. I mentioned in that section, I said I'm looking forward to Last of Us Season 2.
Yeah.
But there is something that I know is going to happen that is going to break my heart again.
This is what you're referring to.
This is exactly what I was referring to.
Yeah.
So when it happened in the game, it ripped my heart out and it stomped on it, and I actually had to put the game down. I had to stop playing. I stopped playing for the rest of the day because it really
Yeah, I messed with
you. Got to think, dude, like the first game, like you play as Joel the whole time.
Yeah.
You're this bad you like grow to love him, and then like within the first hour or first like 2 hours of like playing the game, like the guy that the guy is off, and so I knew it was gonna happen. But some things are different though from the game, and I kind of want to go into that. If you don't
Yeah,
mind.
let's get into it. Because the only other thing I really enjoyed, and I
Was
thought
the invasion.
the invasion
Freaking
was really
awesome,
good.
dude.
It was really good, and I'd seen some clips online talking about like it was kind of rivaling Game of Thrones level of like kind of similar scenes.
Like, yeah,
And honestly, like as I was watching, I was like, this is very White Walker ish.
yeah,
And honestly, it's kind of done better.
yeah,
And I don't know if HBO kind of learned their lesson with what they did and didn't do in that, and they're doing now in this, because everything's very practical in this show.
yeah.
And the scale at which they did it, they're also not messing around with the dark lighting because of budget issues.
Nope.
So like,
broad daylight.
yeah, so like it sucks because like I'm watching it, I'm like, man, like what could the last season of Game of Thrones been if it was like this?
Yeah.
But I'm not harping on it too much. But let's
So-
get into what the
So, well, I want to touch on this real quick. So, I don't know if you know, but the way that this cortisol like virus works is it's a hive mind.
Yes, yeah, I've gotten that because it's the
okay.
fungus and they can sense it through the ground. That's why when it comes out of the pipes, like they find
Yes.
them and stuff like that.
Yes,
Which,
exactly.
by the way, clocked that immediately. When they cracked open the pipe and there was branches, I was like,
Wait, did you not see at the end of episode 1? It kind of hinted
no,
at it.
no,
Oh,
and
you
then
did.
I saw
you
it
did.
and
you
I was
did.
like, duh.
Yeah.
Why aren't we like lighting that pipe on fire?
Yeah.
What do you expect?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
And then he's like, he does it, and he goes, frick, and he goes, Tommy! And then as Tommy's like, whoa, what is that guy saying? He looks out, I mean, massive horde.
Yeah.
And they're like, fuck.
Which, what are this thing's weakness? Can you not just burn these things?
Yeah, yes, you can burn them, and then you shoot them in the head.
A couple of them didn't get shot in the head and died. The one she kills in the warehouse, she like shoots in the stomach.
In one warehouse.
The smart one she claimed was like smart and intelligent, was like hiding from her.
Oh, Stalker.
Oh, the stalker one?
The
Did she
stalker.
kill it?
Yeah, she
Oh.
like shot it in the
What about a
stomach after it
shotgun,
bit
right?
her, and then she was like, no, I think it was just her pistol. She was like on top of her getting bit, and she like kind of pulled out her pistol,
No.
and then
Maybe it's still alive.
I don't know.
It's usually the
like,
same
so
as zombies.
headshots,
Fires kill them.
Cold doesn't do it.
Cold.
Yeah,
And that's why
clearly
they were
doesn't do it.
That's why they were
I
hibernating.
know, but clearly doesn't do it.
If they were
Like,
under
they
cold.
almost froze climbing up the hills to get to the lodge.
Yes.
So it's cold.
Yeah, freezing. But they were under.
But
the
like when
cold.
they get out and run,
Yeah. Maybe they're a little stiff. But it takes a little bit
they
for them to
clearly
freeze.
were not. They
yeah,
were
no,
moving.
They were moving, dog. They were on a 4-2s.
They were moving, bro.
They were moving. I thought the scene of like they were chasing Joel, Abby, and Dina on the
Yeah.
horses, and they're like running at them, but then they like turn around and go to Jackson. I thought it just like visually when they
Yeah.
did they panned out, it looked really really good.
Yeah.
But so I want to say where I was going for this. Oh, all right. What's different in the game?
Yeah.
One, the invasion doesn't happen.
Of the fort?
Yes, doesn't happen in the game.
Oh, interesting.
Here's what's different. First of all, lots different in the game. So I'm very curious on what they're gonna do. But it could all still work out the way it's supposed to.
Yeah.
It's just Joel is not with Dina on that patrol.
Okay.
Joel's with Tommy. Tommy
With
and
his
Joel
brother.
go on the patrol.
Okay.
Dina is with Ellie and Jesse.
Yeah.
On that with the whole weed thing that happens in the game.
Okay.
But it's Dina, Jesse, and Ellie.
Yeah.
Joel and Tommy go out, and then the base hasn't heard from them, and so they let Ellie, Jesse, and Dina know, and they go looking for Tommy and Joel. That scene with Abby being chased and with the fence, which one so sick.
Yeah, it was good.
Shot for shot the game.
Really.
So Abby crawls through. One's about to get Abby. Joel saves her.
Gotcha.
You're playing as Abby at this point.
Gotcha.
You're playing as Abby. You're kind of going through. Joel saves you, and then she realizes Joel because Tommy says Joel, whatever, and then obviously Tommy and Joel take her to the lodge. This is all still like the game, and Tommy gets when they get out, Abby immediately shoots him in the leg, and Tommy gets knocked out. He's not injected or anything. Just beat to a pulp, knocked out. And then everything from then on kind of happens the same. Dina's not there. Jesse's not there. Ellie stumbles in. Ellie watches Joel die. He's not stabbed in the neck. He's still beaten. He's beaten to death with the club. Smashed his head in. And he's just dead. And then also that scene of like Ellie laying, which that was more of like a dramatized like show thing.
Yeah.
I thought it was beautiful. Her laying with Joel. The weird shot that they got.
Watching them on this, with
Yeah.
eye level with each other.
Awesome. So that is what's very interesting is that Tommy's the one that's with Joel.
Yeah, I wonder
And
what the showrunner's purpose was for switching them.
I wonder too, but it's still gonna all work out because yeah, it still can all work
It's all
out the
gonna
way
lead towards the same.
it's all
point.
yeah. And I'm just thinking of the way that information is passed because like, you know, Dina is the one that clocked the backpack
Mm-hmm.
that has the WLF, which
Yeah.
is what clocks who they are.
Okay.
And that's how the information gets to Ellie and how Ellie starts we start the journey.
Gotcha.
But yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I think all the same beats are gonna hit. It's just, you know, who was there kind of it does not one for one in the game, and I think that's okay. I think we're gonna get to where we get that invasion though, freaking awesome.
Yeah, it was good.
The one-on-one with Tommy and the bloater was
Yeah.
was super cool.
Mm-hmm.
I think the visual effects look good.
I love how practical the series is. There's not really
Yes.
any visual effects going on. It's like
And
all.
I think this is what I wanted to say earlier. I think my favorite thing was that the whole first episode was kind of setting you up for this invasion
Mhm.
in the beginning of the second episode when they're like, you know, going through protocols.
Yeah.
Like they're just passive things that you're telling, hey, you guys, you remember when we ring the bell, like, where do we go? Rooftops.
Yeah.
You know, the children and
I loved all that.
Yeah, because it's you just hear it, but
Yeah.
then you see it like come
Mhm.
back and oh, that's really cool.
That's something I will say this show does very well is I do enjoy all the small moments between all the characters and the banter and the lighthearted like dialogue. Like it's never distracting. It's never pulling you out of the story.
It's just like
And I enjoy it.
it is pretty practical. Cause like when the guys have the flamethrowers
Mm-hmm.
and the one dude leaves because he gets scared, like that's
Yeah.
so real.
I know. I saw that. I was like, did he just? He
Just
just
ran,
did?
and, bro. But Tommy, hold
I
that
thought
ground,
that was
dog.
hysterical that he just dipped, bro.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, I couldn't remember what happened, and I was really scared for Tommy when we went to one-on-one with that bloater.
Mm.
But
Yeah, I like Tommy. I'm gonna be sad if he gets offed. I fully expect him to get offed.
yeah,
I don't know why. I just like he's just like character me. Like if he died,
He's-
I wouldn't be surprised.
he's so dope. I love Tommy. But it's I don't know. I thought the invasion thing was just so cool. And I remember watching it. I'm like, this is not in the video game, because like, because there's no character that you play as in the video game that's be there that for you to experience that.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, you know. But I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, yeah. Definitely gut wrenching.
So
I'm pretty heartbroken over it. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I mean, what is there anything I can like? You're still gonna watch,
I'm
right?
still gonna
Or
watch. I'm just gonna like begrudgingly watch at this point
Okay.
because I'm just like, man, like I was getting into this for Pedro.
Yeah,
Kind of the same.
It just killed my boy, bro.
I know.
It just killed my boy. So
Well, I
that's-
saw a thing. I went on Twitter immediately, and I saw a picture of Joel kind of like smiling, and the caption said, "Video, people who just watched the show, you're welcome. Us video game nerds have been holding on to this since the show was announced,
yeah,
and we didn't spoil it for you.
yeah.
And it was just like you're welcome. You got to
Yeah.
experience it like we did.
So it's a crazy plot twist. It really is. Like that's really well done.
And yeah, and I don't know, man. It sucks, bro. I shed a tear. I knew it was coming. I still shed a tear.
I was emotional. I was just like,
But it's like, as sucky as it is, isn't that kind of beautiful that like they were able to pull that out
no,
of you?
I want him alive. No.
Okay. Well, you can go watch season 1.
I guess I'm going to now.
He's
So,
bad in season 1.
Yeah, he is. But Alex, what are you looking forward to with the series? You know, following the rest of it. I know you kind of played a little bit of the game, but you know, I know you're as sad about it as I am. Are you gonna still hang into it and just be ready for what happens?
Yeah, I kind of wanted to touch up on that. I'm not gonna be excited. Something I wanted to bring up was that, you know, with Joel dying, you know, the show really leans on Ellie,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of people are not a fan of Ellie in the show.
Yeah.
And so I think the viewership, I don't know if it tanks. I don't know what happens to it.
I'd be curious.
It's a dangerous game to play. I think it's gonna be
Yeah.
interesting to see. For
I'd be
sure.
curious.
Yeah.
I don't
Yes.
think I don't know. I guess I would have to see what people are feeling about Ellie, but like I think Bella Ramsey has what it takes to lead the rest of the season.
You think?
I think so. Because it isn't just her. Abby's actually a massive proponent of the
Bro,
Yeah.
Abby. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited to see
like
with
it's a half and half.
Yeah.
Like you play the game as both of them.
Yeah.
And so I wouldn't be surprised if there's episodes where we don't even see Ellie.
Yeah.
Where we're just Abby the whole time.
All from the Firefly's perspective and stuff like
Yes, because that's how the video game is.
Yeah.
And so I'm listen. I don't know if I'm in the minority, but Bella Ramsey, like I'm with you. Like,
I don't know. I will
let's
say
ride the train.
I was not super into her performance.
Really? Okay.
Like
I really liked her.
aside from her character that I don't like, I wasn't super into her performance.
So like the whole Joel thing with her on the ground, like that wasn't like.
No, that was good. That was great. That's not the stuff I'm talking about. I'm talking about a lot of the other stuff where she's just like angstly delivering dialogue and just like I hate the world vibe, and I don't know. It just wasn't my favorite. It wasn't my favorite performance. I'm not saying it's bad because I don't want to disrespect the actress. And I'm not saying it's not going to be like getting better as it goes along because it could, but it's got to because she's got to carry the show now. Like I understand we're getting Joel's flashbacks, but she's like her and Abby have to carry the show now. And genuinely, I don't know if they have the presence to do that.
Yeah.
Like even Abby, like I like her, but like I don't. Is she strong enough to be like your like this version of Abby? Forget the game version. Is this version of Abby going to be strong enough to hold up the foil to this story? I don't know that.
Yeah.
I don't know that currently.
I think so because I think a lot of it's as much as they are the face.
Yeah.
I think they have a great supporting cast in Jesse, Dina, and then the people that Abby are with, Owen and all them. I think the support, like them and the supporting cast, I think I think it is enough. I'm very excited.
Didn't realize Falcon
Yeah.
was
He's in it. I'm looking at a thing on Twitter right now of from Interstellar from behind the bookshelf.
Yeah.
It was me watching Joel.
No.
One thing I do want to say, I don't know if you saw this, but right when episode 2 aired, Pedro Pascal posted a picture of him with the actress that plays Abby.
I didn't. Yeah.
He posted a picture with her and was talking about how he loved working with her just because he probably knew
Oh yeah.
that she was gonna get a lot of hate.
Oh, true.
That's
if
so sad.
People are giving the actress hate. I don't like that.
See, I think that's stupid.
That's the show, bro. Like I don't. That's not
What
the
is she-
actress is playing a part.
Yeah, and like she gave a great performance, and
She
yes,
did.
you do hate her, and you are supposed to hate the
Yeah.
character. But it's like I don't think it's fair to go after the actress. Like, bro, she's trying to make a living, bro.
Yeah.
She's just doing her job.
She's a good actress too. I've seen her in more than a few things.
Yeah,
She's great.
So I really enjoyed her. I thought, of course, I hate Abby, but by all means, like, she
Sometimes
was
that
giving
makes a
great
good
performance.
villain is just how much you hate them.
Yeah, Joffrey.
It can be. Yeah, Joffrey. For sure.
Also, Pedro was asked recently before this season aired, one of the interviewers asked him, "Do you think there would be a death that you ever play that would be worse than who
his
do you play in Game of
character,
Thrones?"
Martell,
Yeah,
his character Oberon.
Oberon.
Yeah.
And he was this is before season 2 dropped, and he goes, "I don't know, there might be, there might be," and like obviously me, I'm like, I clocked it.
Yeah, but this wasn't as bad as that.
You don't think so?
No. Homie's head exploded.
No, I don't mean like graphically. I mean like the feeling.
Oh
I was
no,
sad.
because he's not as much of a. He's not the primary character.
Yeah,
in
but
Game
I
of
was still
Thrones.
sad.
I was sad, but I
You didn't really
wasn't.
care for him.
Yeah, he's he's a character we're only getting for a little while.
Fair.
You know what I mean? Like he's not some central plot figure that this revolves around. He's there to act as a plot device to get us moving forward with Tyrion.
Yeah.
Versus this, like he is Tyrion. And they just off him. So bummer. But hey, we're gonna be back to cover it. Alex, got any parting wisdoms for anybody else watching this show, or maybe some last thoughts? 'Cause I
Hey,
know-
Alex, people are comparing Abby to Negan.
Yo, all right. So I was actually gonna chill. Okay, chill.
Relax.
So I'm actually watching The Walking Dead right now, and I'm rewatching, and I'm approaching the last 2 episodes of season 6. Where big stuff obviously happens, and I just want to compare the walkers or the zombies in The Walking Dead to the Last of Us zombies. So different. The Last of Us zombies are on crack, dude. Like you look at walkers, bro, in The Walking Dead. They're so slow. I'm so convinced I could live in The Walking Dead. The Last of Us. I'm sorry.
That's-
They're
I'm
running
not-
a 4-2, bro.
Yeah, that's terrifying, bro.
Yeah.
That's
They were
terrifying.
moving, bro, on snow.
Yeah, on snow.
On snow,
So
which is wild.
That's something I was thinking about earlier today before I ever watched the episode. I don't know why this popped in my brain, but I was thinking like if I had to run away, like because I saw a clip of like the invasion, and I was like, if I have to run away in snow, like that, like that would not work.
Yeah.
And even like snowshoes, like I wouldn't be able to do that. Like, but I'd be fine because like they'd be struggling too. Boy, was that not the case.
They were running downhill.
But they're going uphill, and
Yeah.
it's not stopping them or slowing them down.
Dude.
That's terrifying, bro. I don't know how they do it.
Yeah.
They got snowshoes on.
Bro, they were just walking on
fungi feet.
I guess, bro. They were moving, dog.
They were moving, dude. It's scary. But all right, we're gonna get out of here with Last of Us. We're gonna take a quick break before we get into our Andor talk. So we'll be back here in a couple minutes.